The rugged beauty of Australia's tropical north. No, it's not the start of yet another travel show. Instead, it's the AFL's own roadshow, the NAB Cup, which has arrived at Kazali Stadium in Cairns on a typically humid but very pleasant Saturday night, and the locals have turned out for what hopefully will be a very entertaining encounter. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cairns. It's quarter-final time in the NAB Cup between two aspirants for the finals when the real deal is done later on in the season. And we've dragged in a local for our coverage tonight. Yes, Malcolm Blight. Sorry to get you off the golf course, Blighty, but thanks for joining us anyway.
I know, it's great to be here. Now, your trip up good?
Very, very nice. It's
first time Far North Queensland?
Second time, but first time I've been here, and it looks great.
Oh, fantastic.
It looks great.
Isn't it a great ground?
And what about the area and how it's taken to the game?
Well, it has. It's actually developed and growing. It's getting more and more coverage in the press. And that's the famous, world-famous lagoon in town. And all ages and all sizes, Anthony.
Yes.
And some lovely sights in Cairns.
Yes, you've been taking us around and showing us the sights. And tell us, what will the players feel in terms of the heat, though? I mean, it's not as hot as it could be, but it is still very humid.
No, what will happen first is that first 3 or 4 minutes you lose your breath. I mean, that's pretty normal. What happens then is your hands and everything gets a bit sticky because you get that perspiration as we look at the buses now pull up with the boys coming in earlier.
And that's only in the commentary box, so it's even harder for the players. The Kangaroos, obviously, a lot of, well, some faces we recognise, but many that we don't. They've got 12 of their best players out. I think 8 of their top 10 in the best and fairest last year, over 1,700 games worth.
Look, I know it is a pre-season competition. I know Dean Laidley's copped some for his attitude to it, but I think it is what it is. It's a pre-season comp. I think you should try as many players as you can. Don't give the kids that aren't ready a go, but anyone that's ready, I think you should have a look at them.
Give them a crack. Well, there's a few out for the Cats. And speaking of Geelong, their coach, he's only 7 games away, did you know, from your record as the second longest serving coach at Geelong.
Behind the great Reg Hickey.
Behind the great Reg Hickey. And you spoke to him earlier on. So here is Mark Thompson with Blighty.
Mark, welcome to Cairns.
Yeah, it's great to be here. We've been out here 3 out of the 4 years, and so it's almost like a home ground advantage to us.
Yeah, it is. Now listen, 04 and 05, very good seasons for Geelong. Looking forward to the year?
Yeah, I think we are. You know, we're expecting more. We're expecting to do better, but in a way, we're pretty happy with where we are as a group, and we know that we can improve and do better.
These names, Bartel, Ling, Corey, Ablett, Enright, Chapman, Kelly, geez, they look the right mix to me. They're wonderful players.
Yeah, well, they've all been here for 4 or 5 years, and they're made of the right stuff. They're a pretty close bunch. They play well together for each other, and look, we're pretty excited about the group that we've got at the moment.
Now listen, Mooney, he's a changed man. He's playing wonderful football. Late last year, even the first game this year.
Yeah, I think even the final series, you know, towards the end of 2004, he had a fantastic final series that year as well. So, yeah, he has improved as a person, and we've elevated him to the leadership group of 7, which is going to put another pressure on him. So I hope he doesn't explode and do careless things. And but that's the pressure he's under. We don't want him to be that sort of Cameron Mooney.
Now, the guy that was talked about most last week, Kent Kingsley, 9 goals. They've really come from nowhere. Looking back at his record, 5's about it. 9 was a pretty good effort.
Well, he's about that age, Malcolm. He's 26. And that's when you can get out and play consistent footy and start to really believe in yourself and have a bit of arrogance and confidence about your own ability. And look, we hope he does it a few more times.
All right, Bomber, really good luck tonight. It's a great surface here. Play well.
Yep, we're going to enjoy it.
Thanks. Mate.
Bomber Thompson and Malcolm Blight. And does he impress you, Blighty, as a coach?
Certainly does. I think Frank Costa and Geelong, to keep Mark Thompson there, I think it's been a bonus for the footy club. I think Bomber is what he is. You find him as he is, and I think he's pretty honest about his footy. But it looks as though he can have a bit of a giggle too.
Can they be serious this year contenders?
I think there's no doubt they're top 4. Something would have to go drastically wrong for them not to play a big part in September.
On the other hand, the Kangaroos, of course, had a pretty good year last year, but unfortunately, they didn't have a great year when it counted in the finals.
No, they've recruited interestingly, haven't they? Both with Rawlings.
What do you make of that? Rawlings, particularly Hay, obviously they've gone for the experience. Now, obviously, if it works for them, that's great. But in the long term, better hope some of these kids can play as well.
I think if you look at their performances, their forward line doesn't look too bad. You know, you've got a Harvey and a Rocker's been handy. Thompson looks really good. You've also got Grant. So I think the back line, just getting that one extra tool might help them.
All right, well, last week, of course, they had a pretty full-strength side in, and they played against a pretty undermanned Sydney side at Canberra. Let's have a look at what happened there.
In testing conditions, beneath a beating Canberra sun, the Kangas did what they do best. Busted a gut and tested an opponent. The underdone Swans wilted as Dean Laidley's men booked their place in this Cairns quarter-final. 4 new faces were revealed, with 2 Port boys, Ben Schwartz and Josh Gibson, the most noteworthy.
That is a super goal.
While a couple of familiar faces turned out in the royal blue for the first time. But this was classic Kangaroos. 60 tackles, a grinding work rate. Forget that this was February. These blokes only play to win.
And let's have a look at the Kangaroos lineup. No Hay, Harvey, Grant, Thompson, Simpson, Petrie, Archer, Brown, Sinclair, Wells or Corey Jones.
Brady Rawlings, captain. Interesting call, isn't it? He's
is.
really come on. Daniel Harris is the guy I'm interested in watching this year. He's look as though he's coming. Just had a touch of class to his playing. Could be a really good midfielder.
And Jade Rawlings, of course, the centre-half back. Let's wish him all the best with his 3rd club. Didn't have a great experience with the Doggies, but let's hope he goes well with the Kangaroos. Here's the Cats' room. Still no sign that they're ready to come out at this stage. What did you make of last week against the Blues?
I thought their first quarter was very good. I thought Carlton actually showed something in that second and third quarter. I must say the footy wasn't great. I think we all agree with that. But I thought they finished it off pretty well, like a side that probably should have won it by 4 or 5 goals in the end. And they did enough to do it, didn't they?
They did indeed.
The Midas touch was there for all to see as the Cats came to play for the first time this year. It belonged to Kent Kingsley. 5 goals in the first term, 9 for the match. Everything he touched turned to gold. Off his boot, the Cats coasted into the quarterfinals. The same old faces racked up the touches as the cobwebs were dusted off. For a team aiming as high as one can, this was the first of many steps to be taken this season.
All right, there is the Geelong lineup led by Matthew Scarlett tonight.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? That Kelly, Bartel, Milburn across that centre line. They are ready. Anthony, I've got news for you. The Catters are ready.
Well, let's hope you're right. No Chapman tonight. We mentioned he is a late withdrawal. The Cats are not too far away from coming out onto the ground. We'll take a break here. We are not too far away from bringing you all the action as we see Scarlett leading out the Geelong side. A place in the semi-finals of the NAB Cup up for grabs and greater honours later in the year. Also in the eyes of both these sides. And when it comes to the real thing, Blighty, in September, we'll be there too.
The bloke at home says he's a dill.
Warm summer night in Cairns, and the locals are coming in thick and fast to see the Kangaroos and the Cats do battle. Very light breeze going across the ground, but not cooling things down too much, as the anticipation for Brady Rawlings and his very young Kangaroos team against the Cats led by Matthew Scarlett tonight. And there's his brother Jade as we welcome Tim Lane to the commentary. How are you, Tim?
Very well, Hutto. All the better for being here. I can see why Malcolm looks so good after all these years. It's a great lifestyle.
Isn't he looking relaxed?
Oh, he is. Schmoozing by the world-famous lagoon and on golf courses.
Had to prod him this afternoon a couple of times to wake him up.
That's right.
Matthew Scarlett wins the toss and is going to kick with a slight breeze.
Well, let's find out a bit more about the conditions from that well-known Cairns weather expert, Andy Marr.
Well, I've heard you blokes talking about it a fair bit. I'll give you the specifics, Hutto. It's currently 28 degrees. There's a chance of rain here tonight. Blighty mentioned the surface. Malcolm, this is as good a surface as you'll see anywhere in the AFL. It's absolutely perfect. They reckon that it's man's man country up here. There's not one light beer to be seen anywhere in the crowd, but they are slightly worried about crocodiles. And just over yonder, behind that grandstand, there is a cyclone wire fence that's been erected to keep the crocodiles out of Kazali Stadium. And that is a fact, Blighty.
No, you tell fibs.
That is an absolute fact. The locals tell me that they're about 4.5 metres out there.
You know Steve Irwin, Andy?
No, certainly not, Hutto. No, I know my limitations.
Crikey, thank you, Andy. On the boundary line, and there is Sav Rocker, the veteran.
Interesting that he's playing, isn't it? I mean, it's just, I must say, as you get a bit older, I mean, occasional rest is good, but you know, just to keep yourself up and keep yourself at it, it's a trick to do when you get older to make sure you keep yourself sharp.
He's reinvented himself a number of times, hasn't he? 248 games, 728 goals. He'll go down very nicely in history.
Exactly. Just looking at that Geelong midfield then, Gee, they've got something to look forward to, I think. They look about ready. Bomber Thompson thinks they're ready. I think they're ready, and I think a lot of other people do.
Full-strength umpiring lineup tonight. Matthew James, Justin Schmidt, Michael Vozzo and Kieran Nichols. They've all done finals. This is almost an A team. And they're wearing the commentary lineup, aren't they?
If you say so, Tim. They're wearing red tonight after wearing green last week. So I'm not quite sure why they thought green would be a problem up here.
I heard some people on a Melbourne radio program complaining you couldn't see them against the grass.
Yes.
There's a sign, but Kingsley on the wing at the moment.
At least to start with, and that's what we've done now. We're underway. Blake getting the first tap, and down to Harris, the 5th best clearance merchant in the AFL last year. And there's Ken Kingsley in defence.
Yes, he started on the wing, and I guess they just want to see who's going to pick him up.
Just kicked the 9 straight last week. Obviously has to do more to get a place in the forward line as Johnson goes out wide and Bartel finds it into Corey. And the Cats with a patient build-up already. The Kangaroos putting plenty of numbers back. The ball firing into the pocket. Good, strong diving effort down there by Lonergan, who kicked a lovely goal last week. And he's got a free for himself here to start proceedings.
Interesting move, isn't it? Putting Kingsley on the wing after 9, just to disrupt the North Melbourne defence. So Bomber Thompson just making Dean Laidley think a bit.
Might have learned from a former Geelong coach, Blighty.
No, he would have started him on the bench if that was the case.
Oh, we're going early tonight.
Lonergan.
Oh, wow.
Well, straight into the man on the mark. Needs some help, and Jared Rook's just the man to set it up towards full forward. Shannon Watt with the fist on Gardner. Johnson.
Wasn't that a beautiful punch then from defence? Didn't try and overplay it, just a nice little tomahawk punch, we used to call them. Just enough to get the ball away, 20, 25 metres, worked perfectly.
There's that umpiring lineup. McIntosh in the ruck for the Kangaroos. Here's Ablett. Can he work some magic early? Yes, he can. And the Cats have the first of the night. He just asserted himself in brief moments last week against Carlton. He is away right from the word go tonight.
He's a wonderful player, isn't he? He's developing nicely. 5 odd seasons now. Looks about Cherry Wright, one of that group that Bomber Thompson spoke about. That's what he's good at too. He comes on players quickly, and his wonderful goal sense, and just knew where they were. Not a long kick, didn't try and overplay it, just kicked the goal.
So the Cats on the board. Kangaroos got the first kick out of the middle. Have scarcely had the ball since. McIntosh and Blake in ruck. A couple of big names from the east and west of Australia. Some great McIntoshes out west. Oh, here's a bit of a skirmish. The heat getting to them a bit early. Matthew James breaks it up and awards a free kick. Just to clear the mess, it'll go the Kangaroos' way, and it will be McIntosh to take the ball for the Roos and to take it out wide to Pratt, who decides to come inboard and go long. Hale, third in line, couldn't get near it. Corey up in front.
There's a very, very good mark for an on-baller.
Great timing, wasn't it? Bartel some uncertainty. Has to go in after it and infringes on Ferrito. Bartel a bit upset with himself.
Going back to that free kick to McIntosh in the middle, as we just watched that infringement. Interesting. It's going to be an interesting year for him. We know he played well up overseas, or that game up north, wasn't it? So I'm really looking forward to watching him play.
Let's have a look at Sab Rocker and see how long he takes to have a shot for goal. Mick Malthouse, of course, calling for the real shot clock during the week.
Kevin Sheedy not wanting it.
No, there's...
Funny about that.
So Sav will come on just inside the 30 seconds. Let's see how accurate it is. More importantly, looks to be a great strike off the boot. Scores level at this early stage.
Lovely goal from Rocker. He is a beautiful kick, and that was up with his best. Umpire Schmidt to set them on their way. Blake and McIntosh. Blake standing his ground. Ling. Oh, he did well to get it out of there. Gibson attacking the ball for the Kangaroos, but Ablett with sleight of hand takes it away, and then with sleight of boot off the outside of the kicking foot Gets it in towards half forward Blake. Rook. And the Cats build again. Bit messy in there. Kelly's a chance though. Did it nicely. Milburn back to Kelly. Will land it about the right spot. Kangaroos have the numbers, but the free kick will go Geelong's way. And Lonigan, who made an awful mess of a set kick about 3 minutes ago, should make no mistake with this. Well, that wasn't well done. Two of them there, and Rawlings, the senior, was all over Lonigan. No doubt about it. Kicked a brilliant goal last week against Carlton, dancing around Lance Whitnell, and pops that through. The Cats lead.
So it's all very accurate in front at the moment. 2 goals for Geelong, 1 for the Kangaroos. Blake and McIntosh will do battle again. Now, they won't do battle because
against Darren Milburn, Hutto, he just slung his opponent to the ground about 30 metres off the ball.
Thanks, Andy. McIntosh takes the result and kick to half forward. Was there a whistle there? There wasn't. The players all just had a look around the corner for a moment. Meantime, Rook sends to centre half forward, but not for long. And Kangaroo mark taken by Trotter, who sends it to half forward. Again, good work, body work by Hale. How dexterous is he at ground level? Gets some support. But the umpire, Smith, deciding he'd seen enough. And yes, there's plenty of new faces out there, Tim, for the Kangaroos particularly. And it's exciting, I think, for the Kangaroos fans to get a look at their future here tonight, particularly if they can stay competitive. Hale takes it, fires off the pass, and it's a good one. And Ferrito takes the mark. Enjoyed a pretty good season last year, Michael Ferrito. And again, he found Rocker last time, and this time on a lead. LeCras takes it.
Well, that was... did you see that how hard he ran to actually keep going? He actually led hard for a long period of time. There's the free kick. Well, both players were pretty guilty. Have a look at this. That is a really strong, hard lead.
And like Sav Rocker, he's got the angle down to a tee.
Brent LeCras, a mature-aged recruit, as it were, for the Kangaroos, 24 years of age. Played a handful of games last year, spent the rest of it with Port Melbourne, but they're persevering with him. And he's not a bad shot for goal by the look of it. Kangaroos on level terms again. There's LeCras in the midst of it once more. Hard work from the Kangaroos, working it to the 50. That's Spencer playing his second game for Geelong. Swallow for the Kangaroos wrapped up and dispossessed. Cats work it away. Hunt getting it off. Ablett banging it forward. Watt not able to hang on to it. But the Kangaroos are able to work it clear. Sainsbury getting off the hand pass. Rocker helping it to Swallow, beating one, but putting himself under a lot of pressure. Geelong player down in trouble is Spencer. Hale sells the dummy and kicks a goal and puts the Kangaroos in front.
A few memories of Spider Burton from a few years ago at the Telstra Dome. Big Hale doing the nimble work, belying his size to give the Kangaroos the lead, and they're pretty ferocious at it in the middle at the moment. The Cats midfielders, James Kelly and co, feeling the crunch there. Ablett's begun well, 3 possessions, as has Rook. There's Corey as the third man up. And again, the ball finds a way into the hands of Ablett. And now they're running. This is Tenace. More running bounces than any other Cat last year. And this time he's used the ball beautifully. Touched. Well done kick. Kingsley doesn't believe it was touched. But the goal umpire has the last word, and Gibson quick to bring the ball back into play.
Kangaroos, I think, second slowest on the list last week of teams to bring the ball back into play. They wasted no time this time around. This is Chad Jones for the Roos from out wide, just defensive side of the centre. Clears the centre to Ferrito.
He's been good with his kicking. He's got himself into trouble here.
Surrounded, but draws a free kick.
I was interested in those stats, Tim, to see the longest and slowest kickoffs. I think they might have some relevance halfway through the season. I think we've got to get a better guide then. One game's a bit difficult just to make a decision on.
Well, I wonder if they've made a point they're going to try and be quicker tonight. Tenace works it clear for the Cats. Kelly onto the spillage. Quick hands. This is a bachelor playing his first game. The redhead for Geelong got into the back, though, of the man over the ball and gives away a free kick. So Brady Rawlings, the acting skipper, won't be happy with that. Pratt, though's able to make something of it, and the Roos are dangerous. And Lacroix takes a very good mark, and he can line up for his second goal.
He kicked 6, I think, in one match last year in the VFL.
Here's Gibson. Did he get his hand onto it? My first impression was he did, Malcolm, but looking at that, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it might have been a noise. The goal umpire's right there, wasn't it? You know, that grazing of the hand of the ball.
Yep. So Lacroix, as straightforward a shot as the last one. And he's done it again by the look of it. He has. And the Kangaroos kick to the front. Margin out to 11 points. Here it is again at the other end of the ground. Gibson with his hands full. Kingsley on one arm. The other arm up. You might be right. A little nick. That's a good grab by Lacroix.
He's rangy, isn't he? Just 2 grab. Certainly under a fair bit of pressure, so it was a good mark.
And Cameron Moody's found himself down there, Blighty. Matthew Spence has come off the ground with that left shoulder. He's gone straight out the back and receiving treatment on that as we speak.
Kangaroos with the last 9 marks, lead now by 11 points. And that was Mooney doing the ruck work. The Ferrito, who's been significant so far. It could have been a little too long, a little too eager there, Burns. Free kick and advantage paid. Makepeace takes that advantage. Was going to go short, indecision, but he had some great support so he can set up the charging rocket.
Well, that's 10 in a row, Anthony. If it was 9 when you just mentioned it, that's they're using the ball okay, aren't they? Their hustle in the middle at the moment's causing Geelong some problems. Just not getting it out and getting it clear. This is a good lead.
6 clearances to 3 overall.
He's a hard man to shift when he's in the right spot, Sav, isn't he? Has always been that way. 32. Long way off. Not impossible, is it, for a guy his size who can kick it like he can to go again?
Well, he's still in good shape.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this one. No, he's let himself down by the look of that kick. And he won't be happy. Kangaroos, as we've talked about, a very inexperienced squad. So while they've got the run of play, they need to make the most of it on the scoreboard. They lead, though, by 2 goals. It's been a very bright start.
Hunt playing to himself and then going long and wide, very wide. So a throw in. Lovely night in Cairns. I suppose that's a statement of the obvious, Malcolm.
Yes, well, it's the wet season at the moment, of course, but we haven't had the rain that we've had the last couple of years.
Kangaroos using the ball well. 10-3 uncontested marks. Gary Ablett everywhere. Had it half a dozen times already. Watt climbing in, working it clear to Swallow. Western Australian off to Trotter, kicking under pressure. And no accuracy. Enright in the way. And wants to get it on quickly. Cats haven't had it forward often. Lonigan's the chance here, and he's not quite. Yes, he has. Had enough of it. Good call from Michael Bozzo in perfect position. 4 umpires. And at the drop of a long ball like that, there's an umpire directly adjacent. Beautiful
kick too, wasn't it?
No doubt about the mark. He brought it down. I thought he'd lost it on the way. So, Tom Lonigan has kicked 1. And the Cats need this. Couple of goals down against the outsiders, the Kangaroos. The winner into the semi-finals face either Collingwood or Fremantle next week. Lonigan, awkward-looking kick, never close. In fact, missed the lot. And the Cats still trail by a couple of goals.
And Gibson it is who returns it. Delicate kick from Rawlings is okay. Now trotter along the boundary line. And there's Shannon Watt.
That was the first little fumble. It's been pretty good so far, but the sweat now, the perspiration on the hands, you start to get it about now in these sorts of games up here.
Shannon Burns undid all his good work. Swallow gets a slick hand pass. Cameron Thurley, who when he plays against Geelong might get a few boos from the Geelong fans, closer to home after leaving the Cats at the end of last year. Scarlett that time taking no chances. May well be pinned here for going to. Yes, he has.
That's tough, isn't it? Off the ground, I mean.
It's the rule, Tim. Goes to Thurley. Was that interference? No, it wasn't. Harding back to Thurley, who Geelong will know well and truly is a very much a sharp shooter. Smith comes through, lays it off. The Kangaroos doing well to keep it moving at the moment. Swallow putting his body on the line. Ablett claiming him and will be rewarded. And the margin is still 2 goals as Ablett, who's been as good as any, gets the Cats moving again. And this time he finds a target, the experienced Darren Milburn, who's got some runners. Mooney to half forward and Kingsley presenting. Perhaps just a little far out from goal. Ling calls for it in the square. Kingsley is a big kick when he connects. Oh, last week he couldn't miss.
He's still got a perfect record.
I guess he has.
9 straight for the season.
This is where your kicking technique is your hands, as we're talking about the perspiration. The technique of dropping the ball correctly, guiding it down with your preferred hand, becomes just so important. And even after 9 last week, there's always been a question mark on his accuracy.
Jesse Smith as Jade Rawlings switch play. Now it's Brady. Rawlings the younger, whose progress has been most admirable through the seasons. Casey Green, who played in the grand final last season for the Eagles, gives to Gibson. Kangaroos building again. They've made a very good start here. Now, how will that tackle be adjudged? Play on as Justin Schmidt's call. Stokes for the Cats. Started on the bench. Works it wide. This is Batchelor. And there's a whistle and there's a free kick for a little hold by the look of it. So Milburn covering some territory from one wing to the other half forward flank. He's taken it backwards, so that's play on, and Prismal knew they were coming, so I think he deliberately brought it to ground. Cooloriotis in there for Geelong. Prismal helps him out. Playing his second game, lined up against the Blues last week. Good delivery, but at the other end of it, wasn't well handled by Lonigan, who's had his ups and downs in this opening quarter. Kangaroos out of trouble. And this is an interesting player, Brad Moran, whose parents are English, only migrated to Australia in recent years. He's been recruited from Southport. His dad was a soccer player, and they've given him Wayne Carey's number, so they obviously think a lot of him. Trotter takes it wide. This is Jesse Smith now. Kick without the carry that he needed to hit a target. Mooney dropped it. Rook helps him out. Keeps helping him. Prismal fights on. Did well. Good stuff. And now Scarlett, who does like to run out of defence. Too strong for Nathan Ablett. He'll have to fight. 2 against him. Need to be clever. Did it nicely. Cool head. Stokes well smothered. Kangaroos out of trouble again. And Smith blazing, but straight to Batchelor,
who swings it inboard. He's Spider-Man. And he finds David Johnson. Now a strong, sharp Kingsley lead is the target. And on it nicely. Again, you're suspecting, well, it may be just within range, but Kingsley always looks to see if there's any other option before, almost reluctantly sometimes taking the kick. Mouthguard's put in a safe place, so he's going to have a shot. As we said, 9 goals straight last week, 57 goals 40 last year. There was no dramas about the distance that time, but the accuracy again was the question. And it looks as if the Kangaroos will head to quarter time with a lead, which they'd be delighted with. At the moment, they lead by 11.
And if anything, Hutto, they've probably been punching into this breeze this quarter.
Any Crocs visible from the boundary line, Andrew?
I can thankfully say that cyclone wire fencing's doing its trick at the moment, Tim.
Oh, it's good to hear. We're concerned about you.
I'll let you know if I see any.
Kangaroos working hard. And just off the bench by the look of it was Farito. Couldn't collect. And and the Cats come away with the pickings and might be able to build something late in the piece. Bartel has a man running for him. It's Tenace, who had a long running shot a little while ago. Can't get past Pratt this time. Stabbing kick is good. And the old grizzled veteran, Dasher Milburn, can line them up if he chooses. It looks as though he's prepared to canvass the options if there's something going.
Interesting, since that Lonergan shot at goal where they went direct to centre half forward, most of their attacks now have been out wide and the shots have actually coming from out wide.
Milburn does give it off. Now the distance is the worry for Tenace. He marked that, I think, just inside the 50, so it won't be a super goal attempt. He's looking. Anyone for Tenace? Yes, there is, and it's Kingsley, and he can have another go at them.
Well, I'd have to say that's very... Oh, hello. Super goal.
And it's another miss. It was Cooloriotis blazing. Another behind. Cats trail by 10 points.
And Gibson again flirting with danger. Rawlings was the mark paid. It was, or Trotter left it behind for a moment. The heart was no doubt fluttering as it is again there with Joel Perry. Somehow the Kangaroos, or will they get out of trouble? Again, sleight of hand from Brady Rawlings. Now there's a whistle here. I think it's a Kangaroos free kick about 30 metres out from goal.
Against the grizzled old veteran, Tim.
Yes, yeah, he looks very grizzled at the moment.
From one Rawlings to another. And Jade's clearing kick to half-back. Height was on the side of Shannon Watt and the Kangaroos. Corey trying to apply the tackle. Again, he'll have to try and catch Watt, who is very fleet of foot, and the grizzled veteran goes in and does some damage. Milburn this time, and the young Ablett takes the mark and goes for Ling instead of going for goal. And Cameron Ling right on the siren will have the chance to cut this margin from 10 to 4.
Just while he's going back there, Anthony, I think what we should do after every goal is scored is have a towel out in to the umpire and wipe the ball. It does get very slippery.
Well, you can go on the rules committee if you like, Malcolm. You might be able to introduce the towel.
Pile of sawdust.
Here's Cameron Ling, and that accuracy from earlier in the quarter has been rediscovered. And the Cats and the Roos finish, well, a pretty entertaining opening quarter. Quite close. Only 4 points the margin here, with the Kangaroos 4-1 and the Cats 3-3-21 at Kazali Stadium in Cairns.
Partners, National Australia Bank, helping you get what you want. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Toyota, footy, oh what a feeling. And Bundaberg Rum, classic.
Quarter time at Kazali Stadium in Cairns, and as we mentioned, stating the obvious, the humidity will be a factor, not just with the heat and the condition for the players, but also the slipperiness of the ball. The Kangaroos, this young Kangaroos team, handling things very well at the moment. They lead by 4 points, and their coach is with Andy Marr.
Thanks, Hutto. You'd be pretty happy with that.
Oh, yeah, look, it's just a great opportunity for some of our guys to play on the Ablets and the Bartels and the Lings, because, you know, this is Geelong have done it very well, and it's a great opportunity for these kids.
And a couple of big blokes up in the forward line going, oh, one a young bloke and one a veteran.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a case of opportunity. You know, you throw kids in there and you think, well, you get a bit apprehensive of what's going to go on, but, you know, they never let you down.
They're doing the right thing by the jumper so far. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Hutto.
Thank you, Andy. We talked about the conditions, and the Cats players, well, they're not taking any chances when they come off the ground. They're actually going into a cool room out the back. This is Matthew Spencer, who came off the ground. He did cop a bit of a knock, but there he is, into the cool room, into the fridge out the back there, Blighty.
Looks like a great spot to me.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? What we do now to try and help the guys through their careers. It's we certainly have taken it to levels that we never dreamt of, I think, Tim, years and years ago.
I don't suppose they had to contend with these conditions back then, did they? But yes, a lot has changed in the game. David Parkin always says Back in his day, they used to train by going round and round in circles, and then on match day they kick the ball straight up the ground. These days they train up and down the ground, and when on match day they kick it around in circles. Sorry, David, I've pinched one of your best lines.
Young ruckman in the middle. I just haven't had a huge influence. They're not great leapers. Blake has got a slightly better leap, but been fascinating watching them.
So the Cats pulling one back right on quarter time, but it's still the Kangaroos by 4 points. Justin Schmidt, big high straight bounce. McIntosh brings it down, and umpire Nichols coming in from outside the square calls it. And again, there's just a little bit of heat in the game. Rawlings, the skipper. Brady comes out of it with the free, and it's the Kangaroos with first use. Lacroix waited, Enright didn't, and he who hesitated was lost. Geelong's ball.
Having said all that, Blake is now not in ruck. It's actually Mooney's gone in there. This is a move that Bomber Thompson's used very successfully, even during some of those finals last year, Tim. He becomes a really good link player.
Good effort by Gibson, just couldn't quite hang on. Rook in the way, Green, Casey Green to the Kangaroos via the Eagles. Ling working it out the back door. Cats working it around. Will Slade, good to see him given his chance. He's missed a lot of football with osteitis pubis. Green, short kick, did okay. Jesse Smith, and steers it into midfield, and the Kangaroos are away, but not for long. And standing in their path for Geelong is Egan.
Who fires one in onto the wing, and it's pretty tight in there. Prismal comes in to try and stop Sainsbury, but he can't. Sainsbury into a very open Kangaroos forward line. Scarlett and Rocker, and now Egan. Played the last 13 games for the Cats last year. Finds Tenace and Ling. He's got plenty of close attention tonight from Rawlings. He gets them inside 50. Gibson with the spoil on the young Ablett. See Jesse Smith, 7 disposals in the last 10 minutes. That's impressive.
Matthew Egan, you mentioned him playing the last 13 games, Anthony.
Yep.
I watched that game last week. He did some really nice things. I've got a funny feeling this lad might be developing as a centre-half back, and that would free up Tom Harley to go to the other tall. Very potent if they can get him up.
Ablett Jr., Harding in the road for the Kangaroos, who lead by 4. An inexperienced bunch tonight. Kicks it out onto the wing. And the grizzled veteran takes the mark. Milburn over to Bartel. Plenty of Kangaroos. Not much hope for the Cats. Kelly one out. At least got a fist to it. Pratt put his body on the line. Nathan Ablett on all fours. Smith again very busy and helped out by Harding, who goes for the barrel onto the wing. Geelong had some numbers. They still have. And eventually those numbers prevailing. Mooney to Bartel. Quick with the kick and effective as it turns out. Prismal now, he wasn't paid the mark. It went backwards into the middle. And the Cats continue to build.
Slade giving it off to Ling, who takes it wide. And, just wasn't clung onto by Lonning, and so the Kangaroos are out of bother again. This is Jade Rawlings, his 3rd club, to his brother and back to Rawlings. The Rawlings boys from Devonport doing it well. Rocker didn't do it so well. Scarlett takes it away far too easily. Rawlings in the way and has his back pile driven, so he'll take a free kick. No goal yet in the 2nd quarter. Brady Rawlings, nothing on offer up forward. Takes it wide to Perry. Dabbing it forward. This is Egan for the Cats. Footy a little untidy at the moment. Those clammy palms, they were sweating. Players of both teams at half-time. This is Gardner, who I think spent virtually all the first quarter on the bench. He did well last week at centre-half forward, and looks as though he might be ready to make some strides. Finds Hunt. Rocker not able to get a hand onto the ball. But nothing there for the Cats. Kangaroos rebound again.
Tenace forced to go the punch and followed up his hard work. Wins a free against Rocker. And tries to get the Cats moving. Mooney, ever diminishing circles. Eluded McConnell. Found Scarlett as an ally. And again, it's pretty crowded down there. Harding, the unlikely defender. Maybe he's getting a new role. That could have been too high as well, as Ablett waits for the ball to emerge. It doesn't. Finally, a bounce inside 50.
Been a lot of players on that far side of the ground, so the players are just finding it hard to get some space so they can create and run through their half-forward line.
Big McIntosh wearing the #1 Guernsey. Can't win the footy. Johnson can for the Cats. Not for long, though. The Kangaroos through Casey Green, and now Makepeace and Rawlings. The initial fumble, he made it good, at least for the short period. Hunt for Gardner. And he could go for the super goal. From beyond the 50, Lonergan in good shape to mark. He had some support, perhaps could have been interfered with there, but careful defence by the Kangaroos, adjudged to be okay, and Sainsbury can bring it away.
I haven't seen a free kick not paid like that for a long while. Someone coming at you.
This is Moran, the interesting young player for the Kangaroos. Now Harris takes the wide arc, then goes back the other way. Showed lots of confidence, did it well.
That's what we're looking for. I think everyone's been waiting for this lad to get really skillful. You can always find the footy, just that finish.
They call him Wiz, and he showed his wizardry then, did Harris. All the Cats at the drop of the ball. And Mooney, fabulous night for a moon dance. Well trapped by Makepeace.
Marvellous, isn't it?
Something like that.
It's a good name for a song, that.
Free kick, and it's going the Cats' way. Push out, Slade's ball, and he has a man loose. Cooley-Otis, Batchelor running for him, but he decides to dab into the corridor. Untidy from the Cats. Burns, who was good last week, to Bartel, now to Scarlett, hopefully to restore some sanity.
Yes, plenty of numbers being pushed back here. There's Batchelor's handball again, not quite on the target. Johnson also misses by hand. Batchelor now looks up, got a bit of time. Let's see if he can deliver. Lonergan was his initial thought. You wouldn't know it because Big Hales put his substantial body in the road, takes the mark, and finds Sainsbury, who's been lively across half-back. He's got McConnell through the middle. Can he spy him? He can. Played a couple of games in a couple of years for the West Coast Eagles. A Melbourne boy back with the Kangaroos. Kicks to centre half forward for Rito and Bartel. Having a rest perhaps up forward. Didn't really get it to his own advantage there for Rito. Scarlett mopping up to Mooney. And now Enright can start things off again. Through the middle. Some options. Egan's handball is good. Now Batchelor. Again, the Kangaroos have got the extra numbers, and again, it's Hale who takes the mark.
Makepeace uses the non-preferred side neatly. Brady Rawlings looking mean with the couple of days' growth. Had the full-on goat here, I think, in round 1. Bartel for the Cats. Now Cooley-Otis. Gardner. Relative slow motion stuff at the moment. Tenace normally does things at pretty high speed. Too far, Malcolm. Good call. And play on the call. Pratt's able to run on with the ball and deliver well. And the Kangaroos a chance here through Chad Jones. Now the man on the mark is a whisker outside 50, so he does have the chance, and it looks as though he's going to try and seize it. He won't trouble the scorer with that. Certainly not the 9-point man, and Sainsbury can't do the business. In fact, it might have slid out on the full off his boot, so it's a Geelong free kick to Cooley-Otis.
He might have to come back.
It's interesting that did some stuff years ago with players, but the average kick, I'm talking, you know, with no pressure on at training. I mean, there's a lot of guys who can kick over 50. A lot can't. The average is about 47 metres. And that won't vary that much in the next 10 years or previous 10 years, I wouldn't have thought. You know, some guys. And that kick to me there just reminded me of that was a 47-metre kick, which is probably about the average.
The stretching and leg strengthening exercises, will they extend kicking distances ultimately?
Yeah, and I think it's like, I think I might have read something, Tim, that you wrote about the 100-metre. You know, the improvement has been very small over a period. Yeah. And I think it's the same with footballers and length of kick.
Scarlett and the Cats through Slade now. Great to see him back. Hasn't played since 2003. A lot of injuries with osteitis pubis. And there's Rawlings again, who's leading by example tonight. Off to Shannon Watt. Steaming out of defence. Has enjoyed his role in the last year or two being a little further up the ground. Pratt's kick to the wing is good. So it's not so much the build-up that's been the problem for the teams. It's when they've got to about here, with plenty of numbers being thrown back behind the ball. Something we've become all too familiar with. Short kick, not a great one. Batchelor did well. Forced the error. Now Ablett takes it. It's quite open ahead. Gibson to try and spoil. Good body work by Kingsley. Used his experience. Was that a handball? No. Still, the Kangaroos lead by the same margin they did at quarter time, and that was a good decision.
Wasn't a bad attempt, though. I thought that left hand came out to nearly handball it. Then he just missed it.
McIntosh delivering to Makepeace. Specialist kicker down in the back half. Was able to place it here, but not terribly well for Chad Jones. Blake getting it off, and Slade working it on. Now Tenace, who's had a fair bit of it for the Cats tonight. It was a scoring option in the first quarter. This is Blake. Mark Blake, son of Rod, who nearly won a Brownlow medal about 25 years ago. Long ball, chance for the contested mark there, although no one able to come down with it. Stokes bombs successfully, and that'll be a free kick. Got to be a free kick.
Outside 52.
Casey Green, the offender. Lonigan doesn't go for home. He perhaps believes he's only got 47 metres in those legs. And Watt delivers and does it well and finds McConnell,
who goes for distance. Enright cleaning up after Sainsbury. Oh, he's just caught one, Sainsbury. The umpire didn't see it at all. The bottom of screen. Play on was the call. Ferrito harassed by Ablett. Good strong stuff, and Ablett's usually not far away when it's good strong stuff. Sainsbury again. Was quick with the releasing handball. Ferrito looked like he meant business as he kicked it, and that was some interference. And which way is it going? It's going Geelong's way to Egan.
Absolutely in front. Done a good job back there. 13-6 inside 50s. The Cats just can't find a way through their forward line. Anthony.
Let's see if Prismal can do so this time. Long lead coming from Kingsley. Gibson backed his judgment, and it was good judgment. Burns tries to sneak in. We know he's got the blistering pace. Can he get on the end of it? Lower was right there for the Kangaroos. Help from David Johnson. Well done from Lower. And they're onto the wing, the Kangaroos. Leading by 4, but it's been a scoreless quarter, and we've only got 5 minutes remaining. Makepeace again uses the right foot. On the bounce, a wobbly one. Hale was able to get the releasing handball. Jones towards full forward, but it's all Geelong. A couple of goalkeepers back there, and Enright can run them out of defence.
There's no danger of anything embarrassing happening there. 2 of them with it safely under control.
Have we had a scoreless quarter? How long since we've had a scoreless quarter in AFL football?
Boy, yeah. In warm, fine conditions, but of course it is hot and sweaty.
This is almost like the second quarter Geelong played against Carlton last week. It was a goal early and a goal really late. Very similar.
Prismal for the Cats and Cooley-Otis. Now, can they make something of this as Slade puts them forward? No scouts. Big McIntosh does it pretty well. Sainsbury. Now it's Gibson. McConnell. No nonsense kick. Long, and the only men up were wearing Geelong jumpers, and they got in each other's way. Thurley, the former Cat. Brady Rawlings, Makepeace working up into the front half of the ground. Rawlings again. Anything in the front 50 for the Kangaroos. Nobody within 30 metres of the drop of that ball for the Roos. Easy for Mooney, and he gives it to Spencer. And they only have 4 1/4 minutes to actually post a score. One count that is rising is the free kick tally. 21 given so far in the match, and we haven't had a half of footy.
We've found a point of interest anyway in the quarter. It's taken us a while, but we found one. Will there be a score? There might be now. McConnell's kick? No. Mooney takes the mark. We're inside the last 4 minutes. And hopefully someone's diving for the record books. There's Josh Hunt. And now David Johnson. A little fumble through the legs. Just got the handball laid off, and then he got a free. No, he's given away a free for the fend-off. So we will get a score, you would think. And going back to take it is Cameron Fairley, so that'll particularly annoy the Geelong players. Let's have a look, see if we can see what that was it there. Pretty innocuous.
Yeah, what about the free kick first? I mean, come on, that was in the B grade department.
Well, he's a sharpshooter. 12 goals in his 7 games. Kicked a bag of 4 at one stage. And that form proves pretty good. He's extended the lead.
No mod cons in there, Malcolm. They're the coaches' boxes, so they're even being forced to do a pretty tough up at the top end.
No air conditioning, Andy?
I don't believe there is, Blighty, no.
Any down with you?
Certainly not. Kangaroos by 10 points, and they're well placed to cause what would be quite an upset here. Burns to Ling on his wrong side. He has some support, and Stokes has it taken away from him for the Cats.
Remember one night you stood on a table in Perth, didn't you, to watch Geelong win from the coach's box, Blighty?
Yeah.
Was that the night you ran down after they won? Or
yes, it was. Good memory.
Got some bitter ones as well, if you want me to go through those.
Good gather by Jesse Smith. Under the pump there. This is Riggio for the Kangaroos, taking it to the boundary, and Cameron Ling letting him know that this is what the big league's like. Not even an easy paddle over the line in this caper.
Blighty, you were saying before we came on that there's probably a few coaches in the AFL who could spend some time in a sweatbox or two.
Oh, tell him he's dreaming.
Last 2 minutes of the quarter. Cats really need a goal here to feel a little better about themselves. The Kangaroos have taken the points so far, at least in terms of scoring. Stokes does well, finds a way, and that was all too easy, wasn't it? Gibson conceding, Kingsley making sure of it. Bartel puts it through, almost in slow motion. It's a 4-point ball game again.
So they exchange goals. It's not exactly a tropical downpour of goals just yet, but we've had 2 in a minute. Moran rucking against Mooney. Crashing through was the Kangaroos, but their build-up not lasting very long. Look for the Cats, and they're dangerous now. Burns and Kingsley on the end of it.
Shouldn't be too critical of this lad, because I think he tries pretty hard, Kingsley. Can lead wide, can't he? I'd love to see him just come on the 45 then, rather than that wide. There was a bit of space there for him to do that.
Interesting to see that Geelong inside 50 the last 9 times.
Now, he gave it off from right in front a moment ago. He might regret that right now. This is a tough shot. It's a good attempt. Now, has that stayed in play or has it squeezed through? It has squeezed through. So the margin is 3 points, and the Cats have a minute to see if they can wrest the lead for the first time in quite a while and take it to the rooms and the air conditioning at half-time.
Sainsbury takes the mark from the kick-in.
Copping a local spray there from over the fence too.
Played 10 games in each of these first 2 seasons, off to Shannon Watt, who goes for a bit of a trot along the outer half-back flank. Goes searching up onto the wing and finds Lower.
It was a great kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Penetrating.
Young 18-year-old from Norwood. Had 8 possessions last week. He's had a couple of touches since he's come on the ground. Stokes for the Cats. 20 seconds. Can they do something with it? Joel Corey, the best and fairest winner from last year. Up to a good one-on-one battle on the wing. Bartel and Smith. Was he impinged? He was. Now, has he got time? 8 seconds. You'd think they'd need a clean mark. And that looks too far out. Kelly. And good work from Trotter. And that will just about be all she wrote at half-time.
I'd go so far as to say it will be, Hutto.
I reckon it might be another second.
Let's see what they can do with that second. Not a lot, I wouldn't think. Well, it's close. That's about the best we can say at the moment, Malcolm. The Kangaroos leading by 3. And I think there's been a bit of encouragement there, particularly for the Roos fans.
Well, there has. I mean, they did block it up a bit, but I just think the kicking into the Geelong forward line wasn't as sharp as it was and has been. However, both teams have worked pretty hard in trying conditions, and at least there's a really tight, hard game. Not too many have shirked the issue. Pretty interesting second half coming up, I'd suspect.
Standing by to have a chat with the Cats coach. The goal kickers Bartel, Ablett and Ling and Lonergan for Geelong, and for the Kangaroos 2 to Lacroix and singles to Rocker, Thurley and to Hale. And the Geelong players will be looking for a bit of respite, as will the Kangaroos, of course. But they've got a bit of a spring in their step as they come from the ground. As we've mentioned a number of times, the Cats overwhelming favourites going into this game. So the expectations were that Geelong would be ahead. But here's their coach with Andrew Marr.
Thanks, Hutto. It was tough work, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tough work. Did anyone score? One goal each.
It looked like there was going to be none there for a while. We were diving into the record books. You finished the quarter pretty strongly, though.
Yeah, we finished a bit better. Look, at big periods of the game, they had 2 and 3 spare blokes back there, and we just kept bombing the ball, and we just got to use a bit better and stay home a bit more, I think.
Are the conditions a factor? Blighty's been talking about the sweat on the hands. Are you noticing a lot of fumbling errors?
It's got the air conditioning in the coach's box.
Yeah. Are you going to be loath to rev them up at half-time? You probably don't want to send them out in the second half in tough conditions going at full ball.
We just got to play a bit smarter, and we'll just let them know that, you know, how we want them to play. And, you know, the way we're playing that quarter is not how we talk about playing today.
Mate, appreciate your time.
Okay.
Back to you, boys.
If only they could be that relaxed during the real season, Blighty.
No, probably not.
All right, 3-point ball game. They're always close on Saturday night on 10.
Well, Hutto, I'd heard that a crocodile had been sighted in a Geelong cool room, so I came down to check it out. I can clearly confirm that there are no crocodiles in the cool room. They wouldn't fit anyway. But this is the famous cool room that the boys have been talking about. Operates between 0 and 4 degrees, around about that. The players are coming in here spending about 2 and 3 minutes at a time, getting their core temperature down before they go back out. It's so nice down here, though, boys. If you don't mind, I might stick down here for the rest of the second half.
I thought you were so cool, Andrew, you wouldn't need a cool room, but there you go. 3 points the difference. We're underway for the second half, and Rawlings doing what he did for most of the first half, getting plenty of the footy. His 16th possession, sending the Kangaroos forward. And Lacroix, who kicked a couple in the first half, may just have jagged the second one. I reckon that, no, it wasn't over the line.
I agree with you, Hutto. It looked like it.
Josh Hunt disagrees and puts Tenace under plenty of pressure. Got the hands free just in time. Johnson on the back foot. Snook it in against the line. Tenace lazily around the corner. Again, the dexterity of Big Hale on show. Gives and gets and delivers for Harris, who wanted to keep the ball moving at all costs. Pratt left it behind.
I reckon it was adjudged to have gone backwards, the kick, which forced Harris to play on.
Now it's Lonergan. Suddenly the Cats are in attack. And almost getting a super goal, which they need. They need to be able to convert at a better rate. Here's another look. Was that over?
Oh,
gee.
It's got to all be over, doesn't it?
Well, maybe it touched the paint, but the majority of it was over, you'd have to say. Kangaroos unlucky. They break away here. Watt receiving Jade Rawlings' hand pass, and that's a good collect and good toe from Ferrito. And the Roos are a bit of a chance here. McConnell now measures it off, goes for Rocker. Parked himself well, just didn't seem to want it quite badly enough. Harris, Kangaroos are revved up. Hale, Watt, who started the movement. Sansbury, not much there for the Roos now. Milburn, 28-year-old, some calling him a grizzled veteran. Still a pup. Ling to Scarlett. And this is Slade back to Ling.
Cats running on the outer side. We heard Bomber Thompson try and run it in more, you would think, rather than just bomb long. That's a better direct kick. Right into the path of Kent Kingsley. who was the target for many of their forward thrusts in the first half.
Beautiful lead up the middle, though. I mean, that's the thing I like about it. Just if you can get up that middle corridor, you've got more chance. 2
behinds and an out of bounds on the full. Coming off a 9 straight from last week. Kent Kingsley tried to put the Cats in front, got under it. And all clear for a behind.
Do you think some weeks you can just go too well, Malcolm? Was 9 basically exceeding his goal-kicking capacity in some way?
Yeah, watching the game, I mean, he was very good in the first quarter. The second and third quarter, he actually almost never touched the ball. I mean, it was a very scrappy game after that. But this is... I'll be interested to see what happens next time he starts now. You've had that really good day. Now you're having a bad kicking day. Which one's going to linger longer?
This is McConnell. Just a little strong for Hale. Still a chance, though, for the Roos. It's willing and warm, and there'll be a ball up. Matthew James giving the all clear to a couple of fairly vigorous tackles in there. Makepeace shoved over by Tenace, who copped one for his quarter from Harding. Now here's Gary Ablett. Had to kick blind. And not much young Stokes could do to keep that alive. So still just a kick in it. Early in the second half, Kangaroos, underdogs, have done well so far.
And these two sides met last year in the season proper. Geelong kicked 22-14 to 8-13 and smashed them by 85 points. But this young Kangaroos side hanging on just to a 1-point lead. There's Chad Jones. Played 3 games in his first year, but none last year. Plenty of injuries. Still just 21 years of age. Looks a good type. We said it's close, and there's some more evidence of it in terms of time in possession. Sainsbury through the middle. Over the top, McConnell. Now there's some space. He caught one, so it should be play on advantage. And the umpire let it go. Long bomb is through. And it's Pratt with the super goal.
The Queensland Northern Eagles, his junior club. More importantly, perhaps, he stretched the lead to 10 points. It was a timely goal. Mooney against Hale, conceding a few centimetres, but always competitive. Stokes tying things up. Kangaroos prevail again. Rawlings and McConnell, who's doing very well early in this third quarter. Had a lot of it. And he's got it again. 2 possessions for the price of 1. Harding and Harris. Harding too far out for him. Odds against Lacroix here. 3 against him. Johnson, Lacroix competitive. Paddle to Scarlett. Good, strong stuff. Jones came hard, but Tenace is able to mop it up. Give to Milburn. He's under the pump. Oh, terrific shepherd from Slade. And Milburn's able to clear. And a Geelong free kick in midfield. Lonigan to take it. Cats need a goal.
Moves it quickly. Again, Kingsley is the man. Oh, he's done his hamstring, I think. Or is it just cramp? We'll see. Didn't look convincing. That was a good kick to Ablett, but he's off. He's done his hamstring blighting.
Yes. Well, he's quick off the mark, isn't he? Just getting away from what's happened to him now. He was really quick. That's a 4-weeker if it's a goodie. Maybe 3.
Ablett trying to concentrate on more immediate matters. And Geelong need a goal in the context of this game. That's not going to do the trick. They need another forward from somewhere now too, because Kingsley was their go-to man.
I was just going to make a comment on that. Not that he's played poorly, he just hasn't kicked well, and then, you know, he's played okay. But it's going to force Bomber to actually look at somebody else now. I guess you go to the pack, and does a Gardner look better out at full forward rather than centre half forward, someone like that?
A couple of youngsters, Trotter and Gibson, work it around. Now Perry and Pratt, who kicked the super goal. not long ago to give the Kangaroos a 10-point lead. And they've shown a lot of pluck in this game. They are playing as though they really are very serious about this competition. David Johnson in the way for Geelong.
But wasn't Dean Laidley criticised for resting all those players?
Well, maybe there's a bit of psychology involved in this. He thought he'd put in a team that would really sense their opportunity and have a crack at it. I suppose it's not going for the competition in the most obvious way, but he's obviously got a group out there who are playing hungry footy. Now Lonergan. Margin 9. Cats needed. They don't get it. They barely get 1 point.
Let's go to Andrew Marr.
It may not be so bad, Kent Kingsley's hamstring. The ice hasn't gone immediately onto it. They're stretching it at the moment, so perhaps the cramp might have been exactly what it was. We'll keep you posted.
Trotter bringing it back into play to Gibson.
Nice, nice to see you at the call room, Andy.
Sainsbury takes the mark at half back.
It's gone back in.
Yeah.
Very depressing to see our fearless leader hiding from the crocodiles at half-time.
Enright and Egan try and sort it out, but again, they're being harassed. Just gnawing away the Kangaroos.
I think you're quite right with that. The midfield of Geelong looks pretty good, but the Kangaroos midfield's been right after them and probably shading them at this stage.
Gnawing away, perhaps like that rat that you were telling us is causing you all sorts of dramas at your home here near Cairns.
Yes.
Just that's all we get, just yes.
It's just engrossed in the play at the moment.
Okay, let's concentrate. Enright comes through. Harris again. There's Blake trying to break through, and he does get it to Ablett, and now Kelly perhaps to try and kick the level up a bit. Burns cranks it. Lonergan pushing and shoving. Gardner down there as well. Well played to the front of the pack. Milburn's left foot. Is that deadly? It is.
Whichever way you look at him, Darren Milburn is a trooper for the Cats, and he's pulled them back to within 2 points. Very much game on here at Kazali. Ablett helping it to Prismal. Good start for Burns from outside 50. The big load, the big bomb, the big super. Cats in front.
7 points the difference. Suddenly Geelong in front. A regulation goal and a super goal, and it's all come after Kent Kingsley went down with the injury. So it's amazing how those things can change the complexion of a game. Prismal applying the tackle, and again it's Harris who's able to jar it loose to Rawlings. A couple of experienced leaders out of the middle, or relatively experienced anyway, given the lineup tonight.
Hale's last 2 taps in the centre for the Kangaroos have been excellent. Haven't got full reward for him, but he's really on top of young Blake.
Pratt provides the spare man, and he shows you can mix it up with his kicking ability. He kicked a super goal before. This time he hits the chest of Chad Jones.
The latest $1,000 offering in the NAB Cup going to Shepherd after that Shannon Burns goal.
Here's Jones, just for the 6th this time. It's close. You can see how close. Was it a mark? It doesn't matter. Rocker was able to clean up, but he's only got the minor score. So 6 points in it. Halfway through this third quarter, a NAB Cup quarter-final that's just starting to heat up, even though we've been playing in quite oppressive conditions.
Brent Prismal having a bit of it tonight, gives to Hunt.
Wearing a famous Geelong Guernsey too, isn't he, Prismal? Number 32.
Yes, it was big back when Malcolm Blight was coaching. That's David Trotter, number 13. He's 20 today, celebrating his 20th birthday in unfamiliar conditions here in Cairns. There's the Kingsley moment again. And I reckon there's a fair chance that might just be a cramp. But I have to say my sports medicine credentials are those of a quack, basically. Here's Watt. Hemmed in and putting his team under pressure. Stokes, who made the All-Australian under-18s when he was only 16, gives to Bartel, hoping for Batchelor. Ablett helps out. Gary. Stokes again. Kangaroos hard at them, and at them in numbers. There's a high tackle, though. A free to Ablett. And the play on is allowed. Kick not 15. Cooloriotis gang tackled. And the Kangaroos tie it up. Now there's a free kick.
Perhaps some high contact there, I think.
Initially, the indication, I think, from Kieran Nichols was for a bounce. But now it's Cooloriotis with a chance to line them up. So there's the initial tackle. Can't see anything wrong so far.
Yeah, that was quite a strange decision from what we saw.
Quite kickable for a 2-goal lead. He steers it through. The Cats skip away.
Margin now out to 12. Let's have another look at this free kick.
Comes in, and it's the elbow to the face, to the nose. More accidental, I would have thought, but I mean, there was a little bit there then.
Just saw an opportunity that was perhaps too good to be true, and just thought, just a little one. They are contentious, aren't they? 12 points the difference, and the Cats suddenly leading and starting to get a little bit of a grip on the game. But the Kangaroos, as we mentioned, have been so tenacious. They're not going to stop now. McIntosh over the top, using his considerable weight to advantage, and the releasing handball was excellent. Smith, and the kick wandering inside 50. Rocker goes to work on the left and adjusted the kick beautifully. That looked like a hand in the back. Spencer rides his fortune, and unfortunately his kick eluding Batchelor, and Smith will have what could be a shot for goal, or perhaps a pass off. Takes them on. And now there's a whistle again. Or was it he run too far?
I think that's it. He's a bit unlucky, isn't he? It was bold play. He's been good tonight. He's on the way in his second season, young Smith. This is Cooloriotis, who kicked that last goal. Watt being staunched down the back. Support from Riggio, and that was well done. Good, confident and clean stuff to Pratt, to Brady Rawlings. And the Kangaroos keep on coming. Smith again working his way up into the front half of the ground. Doesn't try and take it forward this time. McIntosh and Lacroix this time will get the free kick. He was stiff not to get it last time, and perhaps, in fact, it's Perry, not Lacroix, who's going to take it and sit it up, but Bartel is able to chop it off for the Cats. Kangaroos labouring at the moment, not finding the way to go. Ling, desperate stuff. Thurley, teammate of Ling's last year, takes the ball away from him now. To Pratt. Kangaroos keep building. Rawlings, Rocker, free kick. Casey Green blazes away, and it goes through, but the umpire is not paying advantage. They're a bit unlucky. I reckon I've seen advantage paid in less obvious circumstances.
This is this belt on the arms, and
play came off the hands. It was continuous. I'd have thought an advantage call was in order.
I'm still trying to see where the free kick was.
From the umpire, the angle the umpire had, I should say, I think he thought it was over the shoulder from where he was looking. I guess with the free kick, it appeared the player who did the roving may have been on his wrong side. The umpire maybe thought that Rocker was a better chance to shoot it, to kick a goal. I don't know. I'm not sure if the umpire's allowed to interpret like that.
Well, if the player does kick the goal, the facts are there. Rocker needs to do it now. It's a 6-point shot from outside 50. He has done it beautifully. Margin, 1 goal.
Won't go away, though, will they?
They gave out Brownlows retrospectively, Blighty. They might, if they gave out free kicks retrospectively, you would have kicked a few more, you think. 6 points the difference. Yes, the Kangaroos persist, but out of the middle, it's a Geelong free, I think. And they're about to run away with the ball, or is it a Kangaroos free for that high contact? Now there's a discussion here between the umpires as to which way the free should be going. And Matthew James thought it should be going one way. So they're going to throw it up. Mooney, no one to contest with him. A fumble at the crucial stage from Tenace, but he goes in to win his own ball. Now, off half-back, what can he do? He wants to bring it back inboard, where he's got a couple of options. It's a short kick to a contest. Gardner, that almost looked like a throw as well from Bartel, in right. Sleight of hand. Kick from Tenace was good. Finds Stokes, who's been lively. Lonigan wants it long. Ablett is down there, in fact. Did the defending work. Green, dispossessed. Smith with the heavy body work. Perry. Smith, again, those youngsters from the Kangaroos combining to get them out of trouble. But at least for a moment, Tenace. Out towards the boundary line. Swinging around Kouliariotis. Lined it up beautifully to Prismont. That number 32. Flashing long kick in the Ling direction. He started out as a slightly overweight full forward in the under-18s, Cameron Ling. Off to Lonigan from Ablett, and Lonigan misses.
He's had a few cracks at them tonight, Tom Lonigan.
Inside 50s, 39-28 too, so they appear to be on top, but they're not really going away with the game, are they? Hard work for them.
Jade Rawlings just not looking a picture of certainty as he comes out of defence. What are his chances, I wonder, Malcolm, of making something of his career at his third club?
It's an interesting call, isn't it? Obviously, the Bulldogs was very average.
Oh, that's a three-pointer.
Three-pointer, yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, Rawlings, as a third tall backman, did a great job at Hawthorn. When he became a focal point, his confidence seemed to lose. He didn't mark as well, and he kicked poorly. So he's got a fair bit to get over to take that next step back.
There he is again, giving it to Casey Green, another who's found his way to the Kangaroos in somewhat unusual circumstances. His last game at his previous club, having been called up at the last minute to play in a grand final, and said he played it knowing it would be his last game at the club.
Played pretty well too.
Yeah, he did. Joel Perry. He's come to the Kangaroos from one of those Los Angeles soaps, hasn't he, Hutto? Joel Perry. Brady Rawlings kicks to the middle. Nathan Ablett. And didn't make an attempt to get rid of the ball, or a satisfactory one. So this is Brad Moran.
I think that was Luke Perry you're thinking of.
Yes, you're right. Bad kick from Moran. Stolen, and Stokes can go all the way here for the Cats. He had the pass if he wanted it. And I don't think Tom Lonigan is thrilled at that. He put his hands to his head in the goal square. He was unattended. The moment got to young Stokes, who decided to blaze away. Wasted opportunity. The Cats lead by 11 points. Here's Luke Perry again.
Gee whiz, you mentioned he looks lively, doesn't he, Stokes? I mean, I forget what happened there. I mean, that's going to happen, but he's actually got the ball and got a bit of zip about him.
There's a bit of jumper tugging going on there, and there's also a bit of high contact. Advantage paid this time. Smith takes it for the Kangaroos. How will he use it? Rocco was rampaging. Makes a great target, doesn't he, when he's coming out? There's a few there. And Smith again involved in the build-up. I know he was a highly rated youngster, and they were happy to take him father-son. He's done nothing to damage his reputation tonight. So Big Sav, 2 goals, 2 tonight.
This should end up out on Mulgrave Road, Anthony, just to give you a bit of local knowledge. Mulgrave Road end.
Not the old Mulgrave Freeway out near Waverley.
No, that's similar, obviously named after the same fellow. He was very busy.
I don't want to harp on it, Blighty, but if he kicks it over that fence, you know what's lurking over there.
Do they like leather?
Yeah.
Oh, they love the taste of Sharon's.
Hey, listen, you go and hide back in your little ice box.
May I?
So Sav Rocker, one the Kangaroos need. That is a picture of how to kick a goal
Here tonight. They like their footy up here, and they have come along in good numbers. The umpire, Kieran Nichols, checks the ball for teeth marks, decides it's in good enough shape to go on, and sets them in motion.
He didn't clear the fence, Tim.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
This flat's been good when he's been in ruck. Hale He's developing as a player.
Pratt kicked a super goal earlier. He's 80 metres out right now. And he finds Brady Rawlings. It wasn't meant for him, I don't think. Rawlings found the ball, in fact, and short-circuited it in its path to Joel Corey.
Hasn't he enjoyed the responsibility of captain? He is absolutely getting plenty of it.
There's the free. Mark Blake, a forearm in the face of Hale. Pratt the delivery, and Rawlings seemed to come from nowhere. You'd have to give Pratt credit. He must have realised he was coming in from the side. Now, can the acting captain put the Kangaroos back in front? They might worry Geelong out of this. Well, the build-up, it never fails. Like so many before him, he's made a complete dill of me. And the Cats are able to clear. Here's Ablett. Or is it? It's Ling against, and well beaten, in fact, by Smith, who really has been a shining light tonight for the Roos. This is Swallow, another one of their teenagers. And the Roos work it to the safety of Pratt, who has shown earlier in the quarter that on the run at least he could kick them from this range. Now the man on the mark,
I think he's saying it's just outside, was he, or not? Find out.
It's a super behind.
Now why don't we give 2 points for super behinds? Just to
confuse the scoreboard. We want another column in the scoreboard, do we, Blighty?
Well, it's a pre-season competition. Some of the rules are different. Some of the plays are different. So make it different.
Some of the commentators are as well. Enright through the middle. Again, Geelong just falling down in the last few minutes to getting it into attack. Ablett turned it into something. Lonigan versus Watt. Watt to the line, and that'll just about be good enough, I think, for the Roos. Three-quarter time is all but upon us, and Geelong have taken the lead in the quarter.
Hi, Mum and Dad, I love you.
That's good to know. 1-300. And then some other numbers. 36-32.
The air's filled with love here at Kazali Stadium.
58-54.
Well, there's been a dramatic 7-point turnaround in the game. 4 points up now, and it's been an interesting game, and I thought the footy in that quarter was better. At least there was some more goals scored and a bit more positive stuff. And that man kicked a couple of great goals.
3 goals, 2 for Sav Rocker. And the Kangaroos trail by 4 points. We're back short. Not a lot of those big goals, but we saw some super goals in that quarter and some action. 4 points the difference as we get ready for the last quarter, with a place in the semi-finals of the NAB Cup up for grabs. The Cats taking the lead, as I said, very narrowly indeed. And as Bomber Thompson addressed the troops there, just another reminder about the big NAB Challenge match taking place between Richmond and Essendon at the Red Cliffs Oval in Mildura, and Motorola donating $1 for each person that attends to the Mildura City Council Memorial Fund after the tragic death of 6 teenagers in that road accident a few weeks ago. So everyone in that area, please get out and support the community of Mildura. Andy Marr.
Anthony Hudson, the news might be pretty good for you and your fellow Geelong supporters. Kent Kingsley, at the very worst, it's a minor strain. At the best, it is just a cramp. He walked out to the huddle at three-quarter time. He's taken the shoes and socks off. He won't be taking any further part in the game, but the Geelong medical staff have confirmed that it's not a tear. At the very worst, a minor strain. At best, a cramp, and he'll only be sidelined for a week or 2.
All right, thanks, Andy. Righto, Malcolm. Which way is it going to go? 4-point lead is Geelong at the moment.
Yes, no, I think that the scoreboard indicates that Geelong's had the majority of play, scoring shots, and you think they would go on from it here. A very similar situation to their game last week against Carlton, and they did go on and won by 4 or 5 goals. On the personnel on the ground, you'd expect them to do it again.
Inside 50s is the interesting stat, isn't it? 10 the difference, yep. 42-32. But it's been pretty even, though, really.
Yeah, it has. It has. The ball, just their finish in the forward line. Kingsley became a bit one-dimensional with him, I think. So I'm really looking forward to this last quarter, just to see if the Cats can get one of these younger players up. Lonigan looks okay, doesn't he? His kicking hasn't been great.
Who do you like of the Roos that you've seen tonight, for the Kangaroo fans at home wondering of these young kids coming through? Smith's had 17 touches, Pratt 14, Ferrito, Sainsbury 13, McConnell and Hale 12.
I think it's not one of the baby. I think Hale's been the most impressive as a big man.
Looks like he's taken another step, doesn't it?
I mean, some of his ruck work has been very, very clever. I thought he stopped them in that second quarter, and he got some important touches then. I can see him being a big improver this year.
And if McIntosh can step up, then that gives them they've got a host of big men to come into this lineup as well.
So the last quarter of this second round match, the winner to progress to the semi-finals and meet either Collingwood or Fremantle. And there's just a kick in at Geelong in front. Blake the first hand onto it, Sainsbury the first use. Forced to retreat and give to Makepeace, who takes it wide and well for Harris. Kangaroos admirable tonight. High work rate. Real commitment about their effort.
Smart.
Trotter it was. Into the hot spot. Catch with numbers back. And they're safely away. Blake dropping the easy mark, but with time to mop up. Now to Nace. He's got good pace. He needed it there. Just got himself out of trouble. Watt going the spoil. Neither he nor Spencer seem to touch it. Sainsbury gives it to Watt. Clean work by the Kangaroos in the back half. Hale needs to be clean, and he is. And he's confident he has a shepherd being laid by Harris. The umpire permitted it. He had a lot of momentum up. Jones working it inboard to McConnell as the Kangaroos come again, looking for the first goal to give themselves the lead, and they're a chance. Rocker, was he interfered with? He's a bit stiff. Makepeace could be first there. Hasn't got a lot of help. Bartel over him. Johnson brought down by Harding. Free kick to the Cats. Bartel looking for the option of playing on, but it's Johnson's ball.
And that incident, this is interesting. Kelly's hurt himself a bit here with his shoulder. Was it a free kick, or was it all?
Well, if he didn't have eyes, he's coming with the flight of the ball. His eyes have got to be on the ball. Otherwise, any contact becomes a free kick, and there was contact.
It's the second one tonight that hasn't been played. As I said, I haven't seen one not played for so long. 2 in the one night.
Stokes told to move it, and move it he does. And that's Mooney who's been thrust forward. Spent a lot of time as a key forward. Now he wants to play on and go for a delicate little pass. The umpire judges that it wasn't 10. Back goes the handball. Stokes off 1 foot. So the Cats have made a bit of a meal of that. And there's the big body of Casey Green getting in the road. 4 points the difference. Kangaroos get it through Riggio. And now they'll try and move it out of defence.
It's another Saturday night special. Riggio short, dangerous. It shouldn't have been fumbled by McConnell. Enright. Bartel. Cats working it around. Corey nowhere to go. And he's gone for holding it. Wasn't so much his fault as his teammates for fiddling and putting him under the pump. McConnell's ball. No mark, of course, as he's gone backwards. Gibson. Long ball to Makepeace. It's ambitious. Kelly's got him for size, and he's got him for run at the ball. Stokes. Geelong dangerous. Mooney. Clever little lob. Brave effort. A very brave effort by Kelly, who can line them up, and he really deserves a goal for that.
Particularly seems we saw what he did at the other end of the ground, Malcolm.
I really like this lad. He's had a bit of injury trouble too, hasn't he? And I think he's had a shoulder from memory. So that was it's good to see him up and running. And when he gets running, I reckon he's a class act. And he's brave.
And he's accurate. And the Cats lead by 10 points.
James Kelly is the man of the moment. Saved a goal at this end. Perhaps could have infringed. And then at the other, created one by taking a courageous mark and converting. And Geelong now lead by 10. Blake beat out-pointed in the ruck that time. Harris somehow got it moving, but Ling, who looks like he means business, gets it over to Johnson. Leads galore. Which one will he go to? He went for Ablett, who may get a free. which way is it going? It is going Geelong's way, and it is going to Nathan Ablett, perhaps for a bit of jumper purchase against Gibson.
And it may well have been there, but you've still got to say that Rocker was unlucky at the other end, wasn't he?
Yep. Or was it chopping of the arms?
I think that was less obvious than the free kick that Rocker should have been given.
Yes, I'd have to agree. I'm still trying to work out why it wasn't.
So Nathan Ablett, who began his career last year in such a blaze of publicity and glory, had a big day out in his second match against the West Coast and kicked 4. Hasn't really gone on with it yet, but it's early days in his career. And that's a pretty good-looking effort at converting.
We love the sunburnt rooster. Go the Ling train. There he is.
Sunburnt rooster.
It's been a bit quiet tonight, hasn't he, by Ling standards? Just 13 possessions.
In the engine room in these last few minutes, and there he is again as the Cats have broken away, and they might be breaking the Kangaroos back. They go wide this time. Bad bounce for Green. Support from Pratt. Well smothered. Good stuff from Bartel. Always busy. Bumping kick from Tenace. Big Blake mown down. Got rid of it. I thought with a legal disposal.
I did too.
But not seen that way by the man in red. Makepeace's ball. Harding. Kangaroos have to kick the next goal. Smith, he's got a lot of confidence, but he's run too far. He had too much confidence for his own good that time. Went a long, long way. He's not happy with Matthew James' measurement. There's a bounce, but then he's taken quite a few. Too many. Quite a few too many. Now Kelly. Cats by 16 points. Crowd behind them here. Here's Gary Ablett. Could just about finish it. Misses. He's not happy. His brother kicked the last one. He wanted it. They lead by 17 points. As Mark Thompson said pre-match, they've been here 3 times in the last 4 seasons, and they seem to have generated some support up here in Cairns.
McConnell, the flyer for the Kangaroos. Green coming through. Nice little kick around the corner from Perkins.
Oh.
Big man Hale finds Green. Rocker needs to take this. Some hanging on there as well. Comes to Lacroix. The handball across to Harris. So high it was. So they will get the chance to stay in the match. Harris plays on. The umpire won't allow it. Daniel Harris, who in the press this morning was talking about how he had some groin problems, not quite osteitis pubis, but the beginnings of it, and that's why he hadn't played as much game time as some would have liked, despite getting such great numbers in terms of clearances in the middle last year. And apparently now fully fit.
I mentioned him earlier. It's a big season for this lad. He's become one of the prime on-ballers in the comp.
And he needs to thread that through, and he's happy enough.
Daniel Harris keeps the Kangaroos in it. Not unfamiliar territory for the Cats, Hutto. Halfway through the last quarter, 3 kicks in front, and that lead is starting to be whittled away. Slippery conditions, just like that night in Sydney.
Slightly different scenario, Tim.
Here's Stokes. He's lively. He's been good. So's Burns. And that is excellent. He did it well. And the Cats again lead by 17.
Shannon Burns was the bench specialist for the Cats last year, starting 18 of 19 games on the bench. Missed out when it came to the finals, but despite his height, his blistering pace and his long kicking, he's got a future. Now Kangaroos ball out of the middle. Gary Ablett can't understand why. Harris is not waiting to ask any questions. Margin is 17 points. They need to get it moving and get it moving quickly. Rocket doubles back. Couldn't take it. And then applied a tackle on Enright, who didn't have the ball. Play on the call. Sainsbury, the big up and under. Almost for Thurley. Left it behind. Milburn. Cats able to shovel it out of defence. Corey bangs away for the open spaces. And one thinks finds the target that he was searching for, which is the boundary. In fact, has he been pinged for deliberate?
Oh, I hope not.
Well,
Gary Ablett, have a look at the North Melbourne Ablett contested positions there, obviously on top. But the next 5 are all North Melbourne players.
There's Gary Ablett, who topped that poll with 10. Very good statistic. This time it's a Geelong free kick out of all of that. Justin Schmidt finding something there, and Hunt takes it. Now there's that long clearance.
I think that's been paid as deliberate.
That looks very unlucky.
Hey? Fairly good, did they?
Yep.
I was looking at those stats. You're kidding.
Here's Ablett again. He missed one a little while ago. This one doesn't carry home, but the result might be there. Spencer kicks the goal. Cats by 23.
Spencer perhaps putting the result beyond doubt. Here's another look at this, what we believe is deliberately out of bounds from Joel Corey.
So it's bounced a good twice probably before him.
In fairness, there was no one out there, and I think that's part of the adjudication as to whether you're A, under pressure, and B, genuinely looking for a teammate.
I've been pretty good on them tonight, but that's crazy.
Kangaroos come out of defence, and downfield there was Bartel apologetic as he came in and made some late contact.
Now, do you two guys agree with that? I mean, that's bounced. He's kicked it 50 metres. It's run on, say, another 10, and they've called it deliberate.
And there wasn't a lot in that one either.
You can see on closer inspection where it came from.
What, someone that doesn't know the game?
No, I think his reading of it was that his intention was solely to put the ball out to the line.
Oh, so they're mind readers now, these little red men out
I
there.
suppose they have to be to a certain extent.
That is incredible.
You've been holding back all night, Blighty.
No, I haven't. I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job, but that is 60 metres. Come on.
I thought intent was a pretty hard thing to prove in footy these days, Tim.
There's one in the first quarter too. Matthew Scarlett went for this. That does look unlucky to me, because really when you kick the ball off the ground, you don't know which part of the ball you're going to connect with, and he set it fairly well forward. I'd be with you on that one, Blighty.
No, so I'm not as much on that one as the other one.
We're at odds.
It's probably not a surprise, really.
This is Batchelor for Geelong. And Ling with the sit.
The big last quarter, he's got him going.
Good recovery, good kick.
Oh,
Might
strike.
get me a result. The Kangaroo defence is arriving in numbers, 3 of them. And it's Casey Green. That was a good tackle by Kelly. Green got it off to lower. There's a whistle. And it's the Kangaroos' ball. And it's good delivery to Farito, who's changed jumpers. And he finds Moran, the English boy with the soccer in his family background, in Wayne Carey's number. Milburn couldn't mark. Spencer growing in confidence there to support.
Wide.
And that's a push in the back.
That's beautifully done. Groundwork at its best. Keep control of the ball, not grab it in. Just push it around.
And Milburn takes it wide.
Not the grizzled veteran, Tim.
Well, he was even more grizzled after having his face drilled into the turf of Kazali Stadium. This is Blake.
Up to Cameron Ling, who has been a beacon in this last term. As he generally is. Forwards hold their lead. Lonergan makes one now. Doubles back. Ling goes for the shorter pass. Corey Enright went for the delicate pass. Kelly with his strong lead. Now Stokes just couldn't get it off. Could have been deemed a throw. Play on the call. Batchelor came through. Swallow takes it away. Pratt off half back. Again, the ball eluding McIntosh. Ling. Cats suddenly full of running, aren't they, as compared to what they've been for much of the night. It's going to be a downfield free here. Geelong lead by 23 with just over 6.5 minutes remaining.
Well, they've been here twice before. I know it doesn't mean much, it's a different year and all that, but at least they have actually known this. A lot of these blokes have played up here. This is their third time.
Milburn centering ball. Good ball. Slade just couldn't quite get enough of it. Cats still a chance. Kelly mightn't have been adjudged to have gone the distance. That kick, little contact above the shoulder, and he might come out with a free. Yes, he does. Wasn't a lot there, but there was enough against Perry. Kelly 65 from home. Bartel ready to go the screamer. That was a percentage play though, and Lonigan is on the end of it. And Tom Lonigan can line them up, having kicked 1 goal, 2, and once into the man on the mark.
Shown enough that I think he'd be worth persevering with.
My word.
Rawlings brothers on the sidelines at the moment. Here comes Lonigan for his second. Deserves to be a 2-goal night for him because he has given them something, but it's a 1-goal, 3 night at the moment. The Cats lead by 24.
Just an observation. It looks as though Brody Rawlings is off the ground. You know, he's obviously been the Kangaroos' best player. So Laidley's taking him off and rested him. He worked really hard. He looked fit and healthy.
Sainsbury. Slade perhaps contact a little high. Either that or it's holding the ball. No, the umpire spotting the high contact. Sainsbury, who hasn't been their worst, takes it. 5 minutes remaining. In fact, 18 possessions coming up for Sainsbury, equals second highest. He goes for the talk. Wasn't a great exponent of it there. Ablett left it behind. The sting perhaps going out of the game. But Geelong still running. Vic Blake, who's been a reasonable target through the middle in the last quarter. Stokes. Rook. Now the Cats out to the wing. And Corey Enright takes it and pokes it nicely into the space. Prismal had to contend with the height of Moran. And it's an umpire's ball. 24 points the difference. Geelong leading inside the last 5 minutes here at Cairns, and Geelong will, you would think, advance to the semi-final and take on either Fremantle or Collingwood next week in the NAB Cup.
Moran bangs it clear, but the Cats surrounded. Jared Rook giving it off, and then Corey Enright turning it over.
What a great chase.
Farito, whistle though has gone, and it's Geelong's ball.
Rewarded the tackle.
So Rook to take it. The Cats pulling away in this last quarter, and they're going to win comfortably against a very much undermanned Kangaroo outfit. They had a tough week. They were away at a camp in the ACT, came home, were only home for a day or so before heading up here, and have rested much of their strongest outfit. Here's Gardner, who's had a relatively easy, quiet night, a lot of bench time. Burns to the goal square. Slade. And he scores it behind for the Cats. They lead by 25.
What's on tomorrow, Malcolm? 18 or 36?
Golf, you mean?
Yeah.
Probably have a hit.
Up to the wing. Egan playing in front. Good tackle on Prismal. Egan's desperation matched for the Kangaroos by, that must be Farito, is it, in the new number 45 Guernsey?
Yep, Jared Rook's in a bit of strife here. He has not moved since he'd been clipped in that contest.
Oh, I was surprised there wasn't a free kick awarded for the because of the tackle. Not that one. Oh, his head hit the ground.
Oh, did it ever?
He's not in a good way at all here. Yeah, stretch has been called for. He's in a bad way, Jared Rook.
It's an unhappy ending, isn't it? Just really seconds from full time.
We'll keep the shot wide and have a look at some of the stats. Brady Rawlings, you mentioned, 24 possessions, didn't really play much of the last quarter. He's been as good as ever. Cameron Ling, the second highest on the ground in the end. He's had a blazing last quarter. I think something like 12 possessions for Cameron Ling. As we look at some of the other stats for the match. Pratt's had plenty of it. There's those contested possessions again, Blighty, and Ling sneaking up with 10 of his 20 possessions have been contested.
Yes, and he's had a big last quarter. I think when you say he's in a bad way, Andrew, you say he's concussed.
Yeah, it looked a pretty heavy one. He's just starting to wave his arm. He's getting a bit of movement back into his limbs now, Blighty. Yeah.
No, that's good.
It always looks awful when they hit the deck and they stay motionless like he did.
I mean, we're so much better at this now. In the old days, the trainers used to come out and rub you. I guess there's this accidental one, which obviously it was, that all the precautions taken now, they're very, very good at it.
Absolutely nothing about that aspect of the tackle in the incident was other than within the confines of the rule book. There was another tackle which came later, which was the one I was wondering about, but clearly that tackle was perfectly legal, and it was ferocious, and it hurt. Jared Brooks coming off on a stretcher.
And the other thing too, I reckon that players are much better educated at not touching that player on the ground. You know, in days gone by, you know, you'd say get up and, you know, and you could cause some damage. So I think that's most blokes are now schooled in that, not to touch a player that's down.
Kangaroos make the takeaway. This is lower. Kicks it higher. No one able to mark it. Batchelor. Summarily dealt with. Hunt escapes. Prismal works it on. Batchelor from a long way. Pretty good kick to Nathan Ablett. Front on. No free kick. Gee, he's a bit stiff too. Now Gary Ablett, who's been looking for a chance to kick one. And he might get a set shot here. Ball coming back. Bartel was running goalward with it. But Ablett has been awarded the free by Michael Vozzo. And it was he who in the previous quarter didn't make an advantage call when it looked to be there. Now, surely that's a front-on tackle on a player trying to mark, and that should have been a free kick to Nathan Ablett.
It's number 3. It's just a no-no, isn't it? And rightly so. I mean, this guy can play, can't he?
He is a wonderful young player. Cats by 25 from about 48. He hooks it and he misses again. And he has on my card 1 goal, 3 for the night. I think he might have kicked the first goal of the evening.
Did indeed.
Roos bringing out of defence through Justin Perkins. Made his senior debut last year against Geelong in that round 9 thrashing. He's a rookie from Ballarat. Back on the rookie list again. 26 points is the margin, so Geelong are going to run out with a pretty comfortable win. But it's been anything but comfortable up here. With the young Roos really taking it up to them. Blake. Bartel. And Slade, who's looked good tonight. Back in the Geelong lineup. He was delisted at the end of last year, but given a lifeline with a rookie spot on the rookie list. Shannon Burns is coming back. Well, there's a bit of a blue on at half back. Surely no one will do anything stupid at this stage.
Don't waste the prize money on melee fines. Oh, Brad Moran getting in there, number 18 for the Kangaroos. He decides to take on a peacemaker role.
We'll play a free kick here. Someone pushes someone else in the face.
Meantime, play goes on. Gardner's kick didn't make life easy for Stokes. No free kick. Ablett. Can he find that he's got some jumper, or is it coming back? It is going to Ablett. And they really are just going through the motions now as Gardner told that he had to play on. Maybe the umpire saying that he had gone over the mark. Again, a bit of a line ball one. This is Batchelor. Here he is again, racking up possessions. Batchelor, if that went through, will it be eligible for the goal of the year? No. Taken away by Makepeace. It was as bad as yours, Tim. And it's over the line and out of bounds.
Oh, just got it. Sorry. Look, it's almost predictable the last quarter, isn't it? Just that talent of the Geelong teams got on top. Midfield, Ling's been good, Ablett's been good, Kelly's had his moments. All those young stars.
Gardner squeezing out the hand pass, but straight to McConnell. Bombs long and high. Was that a push in the back, a ride into the ground? Not paid, and there's one of those stacks that have become such a familiar sight to us over the last few years. Umpire Nichols to break this one up with a bounce. Not long left. It's been a hot night. Been a hot day for those of us from down south. And there it is. And it's the Cats who progress to the semi-finals of the NAB Cup with a 26-point win over the Kangaroos. Geelong to meet the winner of tomorrow's match between Fremantle and Collingwood for a spot in the final.
There's the final score. Geelong, 86 points. There's one super goal each. 10 goals, 17 points. The Kangaroos, one super goal, 8 goals, 3 behind 60. Blighty, a quick word?
Oh, reasonable game of football. Obviously, the conditions pretty tough. I just think the class in the end of Geelong's midfield just set up enough goal-scoring opportunities. I thought the Kangaroos were pretty brave, and they can go away. A couple of young players did impress, and they'll get their chances again in the next couple of weeks.
Geelong through to the semi-final of the NAB Cup after winning here at Cairns by 26 points. They had a bit of a battle first. There it is, 86 the final score for the Cats. 1 super goal, 10 normal goals, 17 to 183 and 60. What'd you make of it all, Malcolm Blight?
Well, it was a very entertaining game at times.
Hey, how you going, Blighty? Entertaining game at times, you were saying? Yeah, and in the end, Geelong prevailing.
Yeah, Geelong, they did. Look, it was always that was going to happen, Anthony. Sorry, I just had some ear trouble then. Look, they'd be pleased to come away with another win up here. The Kangaroos wouldn't have lost much and haven't lost much favour. Some of the young players have a fair bit to go, but there were some impressive games.
Well, Geelong advanced to next week, and they are going to play in the NAB Cup semi-final next Saturday night here on 10 against the winner of Fremantle and Collingwood. So the Cats another chance perhaps to go through to a pre-season grand final. There they are going off. They're going to be up there, aren't they, this year?
Well, they are. They look about right. Their timing's right. Everything looks really good at the Cattery.
All right, so Geelong winning there through to the NAB Cup semi-final. The Kangaroos far from disgraced. Thanks for having us, Malcolm. Thanks for having us at home. We'll see you next week.
The 2006 NAB Pre-Season Cup.